I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. This is probably the worst financial, stressful situation of my life. Bear the fuck with me. I was trying to say that on YouTube, but bear with me. So in my current state right now, I am behind on a lot of payments. And there has been stuff that's going on. Things I was helping my girlfriend with, in terms of money or using the car or this and that and the third. I know for her, she's been struggling. Like, she just got somewhat stabilized, and even then, she's on the verge of obviously looking for somewhere else as well. Now, with all that being said, in terms of me and my girlfriend, we are good. This video is strictly right now about me. This is no blame or anything towards anybody else. This is solely on me because this is my fault. Even though this video will be blaming Amazon quite a lot. So currently in Amazon, I am working 4 days a week, or supposedly working 4 days a week, which is considered full-time. And based on the upfront sale, it is considered full-time. Because most days you'll be working roughly 10 hours, which would be 40 hours, which is considered full-time. In my particular case, though, far as I can tell, ever since roughly January, February, and we're in April right now, I try to make an effort to say, you know what, I'm gonna work every 4 days because I work on a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Reason so being, so I have breaks in between the two, and it gives me that. Oh, I forgot the. It's probably dying. Oh, it's not dying, but there you go. Sound should be better. I apologize on that. 2 minutes in, I 3 minutes in nearly, and I forgot about the sound. But give myself some break, give myself some rest. I got into a point where like I actually DoorDash in between on Tuesdays and Thursdays just to make up some extra money. Now, with that being said, how does my current situation affect me into making this actual video? So, like I was saying, I've been making efforts to actually go to work and have a route. You have a choice where there's chances you have a route, and you can take a route, and that route might take you 8-9 hours to complete, depending on how far you go, depending on how much they have you do. Weekdays tends to be more busier, so you're less likely to get a route because everybody's more adamant to do weekdays versus weekends. Still doesn't mean that you're guaranteed a route. From my understanding, I think I've done a good job as far as delivery, making sure I'm on time, not speeding, not doing things XYZ. Like, have I got flagged on cam for being too close to a car or being speeding? I will be completely honest. The answer is yes, I have. Now, some of those cases, a car was merging into my lane and then it went off, and I'm like, I don't know what you expect me to do in that sense. Other times, a few times I have considered speeding. It was just me like doing the whole like 8-9 hours of driving, and then on my way back I've gotten flagged for speeding. Or some situations, and not speeding in the sense of like I intentionally meant to speed. It was more like I forgot it was 55 and I'm still doing 65, or I'm on the mindset that, oh, I'm still doing 65 on this, and it already switched from like 65 to 55, and I completely forgot to go lower myself down to 55. Or other cases where I'm in the back roads and the GPS is telling me to go 55 and I see no sign that says miles per hour. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should, actually speed up. It's not like there's any buildings or animals around like that in terms of farms. It's more so trees and plain fields. So I don't see why not. And then I get flagged because now I'm speeding when it's supposedly a 30, even though there's no sign for a 30. And yeah. So situations like that, I've been flagged for. So I'll throw that out there. That is accountability on my end when it comes to that. But nonetheless, I say that because this probably is the reason why I've gotten what I've gotten. So as of the last couple weeks, not including this week, but as of the last couple weeks, because right now today is Saturday. So I'm not gonna talk about this week yet, but this week is the reasoning why I'm making this video. So as the last couple weeks, I've been noticing that I've been an extra on a particular day. So it's like a 50-50 chance, or more so like a 80-20% chance that I'm an extra on Wednesdays, and 50-50 I'm an extra on Fridays. So extra means that you only show up to help out. Chances you might get a route, but that's if somebody drops out or doesn't want to take their route. So that could easily be like just pretty much loading up on the truck, like taking literally a tote or a bag that they have. That's not the actual bag, but taking a tote or a bag and loading up on the truck and assisting other people. Some cases you might be a rescuer. Some cases you might be this. In some cases you might be that. I've gotten that, so I was like, okay, well, I'm not working 40 hours a week. I'm more so working 30 hours a week. And even then, slightly less. I am the type of person where it's like, once I get a route, I'm immediately wanting to get home. So a lot of the things I do when I'm on route is just like speeding up the process to like get home, because I just want to get home. I'm not even going to drag time. I just want to get home. They had asked me if I want to do rescues from time to time on my route. I've declined because of, excuse me, the things I know I need to be doing at home, where I would need immediate pay or need, the access to have pay, which is i.e. door dashing. So I'm not like even gonna sit here and say that I'm not like I'm very attentive to like, okay, like this could be the reason why they made me this and made me that. Maybe, I don't know. So that being said, I was learning to myself like this job is but I was bearing it because as far as the routes, they weren't too bad, they weren't too crazy until this week happened. And to put it in perspective, I've already said I'm late on payments. One of the more particular late on payment on is this car. And I have to pay that late payment by this upcoming Wednesday. Mind you, today's Saturday. I felt like I didn't get paid the amount I'm supposed to get paid. Strangely, I'm not sure why, because I did the calculations on the app where it's like calculate my salary, so I know how much net I end up having, not gross but net. I've also got my hours. I've got my pay for that week. So it wasn't like to the T accurate for some odd reason, but I feel like I got less than what I normally would have gotten. I'm not sure why, but nonetheless, I used up I used up everything of it. Paying off like a few late payments, most of the smaller ones, and trying to put myself in like a good spirit, good mood, and a good vibe, which, I feel good. Like I actually do feel good. My hair's a lot more healthier for like the past like 2 days, ever since I got my haircut and whatnot. But staying on topic, Sunday I worked. Monday they called me and not called me, they texted me and told me that I should take a day off because they ended up hiring too many people and they don't need me for today. And that if I want to, I can work Friday or Saturday this week. Mind you, like I told you already, I already work on Fridays. So when they said that, I'm like, I kind of hit them with like, I'll let you guys know if I want to do Saturday, because if I do Saturday, then I'll be end up working like 4 days back to back to back to back driving. And I'm like, yeah, to some degree I already do that, but doing it for Amazon is exhausting. And I don't have the ability like everybody else does, like just to stay up and drive for such durations and periods of time. Like even for door dashing, I do like maybe like an hour or two. I take a whole good 2 hour break and then I go back out. Like that's been my usual because of how with Amazon, like I'm driving like consistently for like 5-6 hours just to make it home sooner than later. So for that, yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just take the Monday off. I worked a bit Monday. As far as like DoorDash, did the same thing Tuesday. Wednesday roll around. Went up to the facility. I'm an extra. Mind you, to get to the facility and back roughly takes me about 40 miles to do so. So mind you, I'm also missing out on like electricity or in this case gas for my car. So like, all right, like I'm going there for an hour to be an extra, whatever. Thursday, do a bit of door dashing as well. Friday, which is yesterday, rolls around and now I'm an extra. So now in my head, I'm like, I only worked one day this entire week. I'm behind on late payments and taxes is coming up where I gotta pay my taxes and I don't have the money for that. I'm just like, this doesn't feel right. This this doesn't feel right. Like, why would you schedule me? Because at this point now, they have me for the next 2 weeks scheduled, obviously for the days I asked for it to be scheduled, but then to show up and I don't get a route. Now, luckily, somebody couldn't do their route, but they had this thing called Recycle Route. Recycle Route is pretty much like packages that needs to be delivered to said destination, but doesn't necessarily have a particular route. It's supposed to be a shorter route, so it's not like you're out there for too long. Cool. It was all right. Well, before I get to say it was all right. So essentially for that case, you sit there or you wait, you take a break, and then you wait until that shift is available or that timing is available, which is roughly around like 2-3 o'clock. Some cases it can come by noon to like for them to get the packages and get them ready to go out around noon, 1 o'clock. Or some cases you gotta wait till like 2 or 3. I waited till 3, so I waited at the facility for I was there around like 10. Yeah, I waited roughly like 4 hours before I took the route. I took the route. I had 3 bags, and I don't want to go into detail like this because I'm making this video a very long video if I like go into detail about it. But if you work at Amazon, you understand. Everything was just a complete mess. Like far as the way the route was set up, the way the packages were in their totes. Like I would have one stop and one tote, but then I have the next stop in another tote bag, and it was all disorganized. Like all the numbers were in order in terms of like, okay, this stop, I go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, but package 1 could be in one random tote while the other one's in another random tote. So I'm like, this, yeah. And even some cases where it's like, yeah, package 1, 2, and 3 it might be stop, 1, 2, and 3, but stop 7 could be package 20. And it's like, it's not necessarily in order, but it's somewhat in order. It was so weird. So instead of following that route, because the route was very odd. So kind of imagine like you're in the city. And mind you, it wasn't a lot of routes. So I'm not sitting there complaining about the routes. I just see the squirrel. That's why I looked over there. But I had to go into the city area where I was at, do like 5 stops there. That's how this route was set up. I changed it in terms of how I was doing it, but this is how it was set up. Do the routes that's in that general area. Go off outside the city to then come back after doing like 3 stops out there to come back to the city area to do another 4 stops to go back out to a different section outside the city and then come back. I'm like, why would I do that when everything's right there? Why would I do stop 8 in the city or get up to 8, do route 9 through 12 over there when stop 13, stop 30, and stop 40 is all right in this, literally right next door to each other, and you want me to come back? I'm like, why would I do that? So I'm just like, everything was a mess. I was annoyed. I was pissed. I didn't even get home until 10:30 last night. I usually do not get home that late. I haven't gotten home that late since roughly around the time when I first started Amazon. And even then, the reason why I stuck with it was because, like, you know what, this is the winter. Daylight savings wasn't a thing, and everything got dark sooner. So I'm like, I can stick with this for now, but I'm not a fan of delivering in the dark. Can't see houses, don't know what's out there, etc. And even then, I was also told that, they're gonna make an attempt or find me a route that was close by to where I was at. I had to drive, and this is usually my typical route to some degree, but like I was on the premise of, okay, they're gonna try it. They kind of like hinted at like I will be within a 20-minute radius. I'm in about an hour and a half away. So I'm annoyed. Like I honestly, like I applied for jobs. I had finished some applications that I got email for, but I applied for some jobs. I'm looking forward to hearing from them, and I'm just gonna leave my job because at this rate, I'm just double checking nobody messaging me back. At this rate, I'm like, why I can't move this way. This is not like, if anything, I would rather them tell me like they told me Monday not to come in than for me to come all again to be extra. Like, it doesn't serve me to do 40 minutes and make the amount of money I'm making. Like, that's not even enough for me to like charge up to taking my gas. It's just not enough. Like, it's super annoying. My girlfriend's aware of it, but I'm like, on top of like the things that's like coming up, like I don't like, if it was consistent or like, like they actually gave me like 4 days a week and this one bad week, sure, but it's just getting to a point like, mind you, when I say like earlier when Wednesdays was for 80-20 on Wednesday and 50-50 on Friday about getting extras, there's times I've like only worked 2 days a week. It sounds fun and dandy and all, but like when you got bills to pay and whatnot, like no, I got time for. Like, why? I understand why. So my girlfriend theorizes that because it's peak season, which is because it's tax time, everybody getting their taxes, everybody ordering stuff from Amazon. That's why they hire so many people. And I don't have the time for them to like wait, flush some people out, and then like reorganize the schedule. Like, I have bills to pay. So Like I don't want to go in this upcoming week. One, because it's gonna be raining the entire week, and two, nah, just like yeah, I get paid more, but like at what cost? Like I don't want to drive all the way up there for there to be a potential like, and that me for me saying that too. It's at the point now where it's like I could be extra tomorrow on a Sunday. I'm usually not, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be. Or on Monday. I promise you. Like, and that's why like I don't want to go up there because if I really go up there and there I am an extra on a Sunday, it's like all right, man. Like, I get it. Like you're trying to like help these new drivers out and see who works out and who doesn't, etc. But for the 5 months I have been working here, it's like this is just ridiculous. Like I don't even take a lower pay just to get like actual hours at this point. At least I know I'm working. Like I'm at a point where I'm like I'm just gonna use my PTO time and just like just leave after that. That's how I feel right now. But outside that tangent, I'm all right. I am okay. Just minus the fact of like I gotta pay for this, I gotta pay for that, and like by late, like I'm talking about like literally like I didn't know. I just want to pay my late payment off. My car gonna stay on late payment until I actually had the funds to pay everything, which was gonna require me to like really hustle on this door dashing. And in terms of like organizing my life a bit better. I mean, the last couple of days, I feel like I organized pretty well. Yeah, no, I promise you, I really do not want to get hit with some BS tomorrow. Talking about, oh yeah, we made you an extra too today. It's like, all right, at this point, man, like, I'm just gonna have to like not show up no more. I'm gonna just throw on my PTO for the weekend and maximize that because I got like 17 hours on PTO. So let me get that bread real fast and. Yeah, I'll see y'all. I won't see y'all. I'll just see y'all deliver a package to me whenever I need Amazon. Because I just can't, like, again, it's cool, but not to that degree. Like, Amazon driving, it is fun to some degree, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, and I also say all this to say, I want this to be recognized as one of my stories when I do come out of all this. Because this is one of the worst times for me in terms of finances. Like I'm on the verge of losing my car. I owe a pretty heavy amount in taxes. I'm behind on some monthly payments that I've had. And I know student loan wise, that's another thing too. So my solution to all this right now is one, I would rather utilize DoorDash for the sake of immediate money. My girlfriend doesn't really approve it because obviously it's not guaranteed pay, etc. And I have to keep up with it, and I do get more via from Amazon, but I'm definitely in the mindset of like utilizing DoorDash to a higher degree. And I know I'm supposed to put away 30% away from my DoorDashing. At this time right now, I just want to clear out my debt and then trying to recuperate myself at least until I can find another job. That's where my mind is at right now. I don't know if I'm going to do that exactly, but I mean, to me, that would be the safest and easier bet. At least I can have a better control of my money. I don't know. I don't know. What y'all can let me know in the conversation what y'all think about this, because to me this is ridiculous. But yeah, no, I honestly see myself coming out of it. My biggest thing is like, if I know, one thing I tell myself, as long as I'm not in jail, as long as I'm alive, as long as I'm healthy, whatever circumstances I have via money or any issues in terms of, just upbringings or coming up or problems I have, everything can be resolved as long as I'm not in jail, as long as I'm not sick, and as long as I'm alive. That's the only thing I'll be good. Everything else can be resolved. Whether it's due time, whether it's overtime, it can be resolved. Like, I could reach out to people for money, but then, I feel like I'm under them or them trying to control me. That's why I don't really reach out to anybody. Like my girlfriend will help out if I do ask for the help. She mentioned it, but at the same time too, like I don't want to add extra stress onto her. So I don't know. I'm like going back and forth with it in my head. But that's generally it. That is my solution to a lot of this. So I'm gonna right after this, I'm gonna actually go dash a bit. I'm actually probably gonna just dash and work out at home tonight while my girlfriend's out, hanging out with her girlfriends for the birthday, and pick them up after everything. So much goddamn cat hair, it's ridiculous. So my plan today is to make that 100, make it probably a little bit over 100. Hang out with my girlfriend because I haven't really hanged out with my girlfriend for the last couple of days. And chill. Y'all follow me on Discord. Like I said, I'm trying to take this YouTube thing more seriously. There's a lot I need to work on. I actually need to work on Faith photo shoot too. On top of that, so I gotta take the 20 minutes left I have before this car is charged up to 80%. And work on that for Faith. I need to figure out how to reach out to people for photo shoots or photo sessions. I feel not necessarily a bit nervous, but excuse me, I'm not sure how to go about it. That's one of my biggest things right now. Like, I've been asking AI to some degree, like how to message people appropriately for a photo session. Cause I want to come across as somebody that not say doesn't know, but I gotta look at it in the sense of okay, if I were to ask myself, not knowing who this is, would I be inclined to say yes, or would I make the offer so hard for somebody to say no to? That's more so my mentality when it comes to that. I'm praying for myself. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm praying for myself. I'm so praying for myself. Because if I can make it out of here, man, I promise you, this will be a great future. But right now, I'm in a situation where I need to really get out of it. And mind you, I said this is Saturday. I got 4 or 5 days left to make the amount of money required to pay off this car. And that's realistically I need at least $500 to pay off this car. And then after that, I could work my way around everything else to pay everything else off. But I definitely need $500 to pay off this car. And then I would need to make another 5 next week to pay off the personal loans. 500 following week after that to pay off my insurance. Another 5 the following week to pay for rent, water, and another 5 the following week to pay off the car again. That's not including needing another 5 for taxes. If I get a little over 5, then obviously that helps way more. But at this current status, I need indefinite 5. That's not including food either. It's not like my girlfriend doesn't have her home things that she got to pay off too. This is way too long of a video, but I appreciate it for those who stick around to listen to the entirety of everything else. But I can slowly make it out. I got a photo shoot for my brother this upcoming weekend. My mom said she's gonna be paying me for it, so that's some money extra on top of whatever I gotta pay, even though it'll be a little challenging. Let's see what else. Then I don't have anything realistic coming up. Photo shoot wise, that's paid, but I'm working on it. I'm gonna make more effort. I just don't know how to go about it. That's more so the thing. Like, I don't want to hit up people. Like, I don't mind a rejection. I just don't want to sound like, hey, would you like a photo shoot? And then like it's just so like generic, and it's like, oh no, I'm good. Like, I don't have 200, or I don't have the amount of money you're asking me to. Because my starting price is 200. That's very cheap for anybody that's watching this video that's not in the city that I'm in, because everybody thinks 200 is expensive out here. And wherever else I go, they're like 200 is actually very cheap. So I dislike switching my prices. It's on like 200. It has to be my final, like at least until I get out of Binghamton. Then I can raise my prices up to 400 or 500, and not to say like to charge the same exact thing, but more so because like, and by that time I will have a certain style, a certain look, a certain appearance, so I know what I will be giving to the client versus like them looking at me like, oh, can I get this look, but not necessarily with my style, but just that look. And it's like, I guess. It's funny because my girlfriend came across somebody I shot for their birthday a few months ago, and she was like, the fact that they give you no credit is crazy. I'm like, yeah, this is how people are in Binghamton. Like, I gave a whole contract. The contract stated to make sure to at me and shout me out, etc. in the contract. The people that I tend to work with out here in Binghamton, or tend to that pay me and tend to do work, they give me shit for whatever reason. Not saying everybody's that way, but 80% of my clients that I have gotten paid from the last couple photo shoots, I've always gotten like shit. It is what it is. That's why I want to raise my prices. That's why I want to come differently, because I don't want to deal with those people as often as I used to have. So we're all trying to make it. And one other thing too that I do like is that there was this person that I came across on TikTok, and they were talking about like, oh, like a skill for skill trade. Like, pretty much, if you don't have enough money to pay me for whatever skill I have, this is what I would accept for equal pay. And I'm like, you know what? I think I might do that exact same thing. I just don't know exactly what though. Like, I would do a photo shoot for a photo shoot, but I don't know what else. Maybe you do a photo shoot for a tattoo. I don't know. I would definitely want a Kingdom Hearts tattoo, something small. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But skill for skill, I'm not opposed to the idea. That way, like, everybody can, like, obviously feed off each other. And, like, those that don't necessarily have a skill that they're looking for to have, just pay. But, yeah, outside of that, I'm going to head out. Now my little tangent. I definitely don't have the 20 minutes to work on fade photos. So I got to find a different time for that later on today. But, yeah, no. Get ready to dash. Whew. All right. Peace out, y'all.